All right, the second level of dynamic gratitude, the second level of thankfulness is to be thankful in what you don't have. Number one, the first level is to be thankful for what you have, what's right in front of you. Is second level is to be thankful in what you don't have. All right. It's at this second level that you really dig in and you really see how amazing life is around you. In the first level, you thank God that your candidate was elected. In the second level, you begin to look for, you begin to practice gratitude. You begin to look for why, you begin to look for all the things you can be thankful, like all the 40 plus other previous presidents that were elected, where this amazing country has come from, where it is now, and where it will go. And grateful for smooth transitions of power and an awesome constitution and great local or state government. You can find it. It's a practice, but you can find it in every situation if you will take your eyes off what you don't have. If you can take your eyes off what you didn't get and begin to look around, you will find multiple things to be thankful for. All right. In the second level of Thanksgiving, you see what you don't have, but you begin to see at a deeper level what you do have. And the first level of Thanksgiving is obviously the right thing to do. Then this second level may be less obvious and a lot more difficult. The second level of Thanksgiving is for me sort of a comparison contrast. So we just had 5 days of freezing weather. I've been in Texas for 40 years now, just at 40 years, and I have never been in that length of freezing time down below 20, even down into the teens, into the like 10, 11, 12 in Houston. It was crazy, and people had to boil drinking water. Pipes are burst all over the town. It's just amazing what happened. Our electrical grid went down. Now, the first level of gratitude, I have to stop being grateful. I have to stop being thankful because I don't have electricity. But the second level, I begin to see and look at a different thing. I begin to look at the 360 days I had electricity. The 360 days I would just walk over to any switch, turn it on, expect my lights to come on, expect for me to have water, expect for me to have hot water. So I begin to shift, even though I don't have electricity now, I begin to look at the 300 days and be grateful to express my gratitude for 360 days of electricity. And that this time I'm in, the season I'm in, is going to shift and change, and electricity will be common once again. My power won't be going in and out. I won't have to rush to get something cooked or made or anything like that. So now it's a comparison contrast. It's being thankful in what you don't have. It's not saying, oh, I'm glad I don't have money. Oh, I'm glad I don't have electricity. It's not that. That's insanity. It's sitting down to a meal of beans and rice for the third night in a row because you've lost your job. And the second level is not just thanking God for beans and rice, that's first level, but you're thanking God for all the amazing meals you've had for all the years before. You're thanking God for all the paychecks you've had and not the 5 or 10 or 15 or even 20 paychecks that you've missed. You're thanking God in advance for the better meals to come. You're thanking God in advance for the better job and the next 500 paychecks that are on your way. That becomes your focus. Again, level one, gratitude doesn't work in a time of crisis or pain because you may not have much to be obviously grateful for. The second level means being thankful in the midst of what is going wrong right now, like our weather crisis we just had. But some of you for the election, to be grateful, to start talking about what to be grateful for. I actually posted some things about gratefulness and got hammered by Bible believing charismatic Christians about how being grateful for a system or grateful for a single thing about a single person is like almost like celebrating evil. And so it's we like to put people in those places, but we're supposed to be grateful. So let's look at being grateful. It's the widow in the Old Testament looking down at her last pancake and thanking God for it. It's Elijah seeing a small cloud the size of a man's fist, getting excited, being grateful for what's on its way, even though it hasn't experienced rain in a few years, and there's no rain yet, and there's no really indication of rain except a tiny, tiny cloud way out in the distance. It's Jesus taking that little bit of bread and fish and being grateful for it in advance. Now, my wife had a knee replacement a few years ago. Now, level two, again, I want to get this really straight because I think Christians have this wrong. Level two is not thanking God, oh, I'm so glad she got her knee replaced. I'm so glad she has a bad knee and she's had one for 15 years. I'm so glad that she's in pain. I'm so glad that I'm grateful for the pain. It's looking beyond that, and it's looking to the doctors, to the medical inventions. It's looking to the fact and being grateful that you can have a knee put in, taken out, and be home and walking in a couple days. You begin to Google out and focus on all that's around us, and our vision begins to get better. We find the good underneath the current problem. It takes time, it takes practice. This is where we need to train our mind to take every thought captive. This is where we need to exercise some self-discipline, where we don't throw ourselves a pity party, where we don't say the world's going to hell in a handbasket. In fact, at level two, if you're in level two gratitude, you will not be able to have a pity party because you'll be too busy listing out and thanking God for all of his numerous blessings. Level two gratitude is Philippians 4:6. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God. And within each level, there's a transition. And you're not going to go to level two if you haven't completed level one, but they're connected. So from level one to two, there's an awareness of how good God really is and how good life really is. That even though something's been taken away from me now, I've had a lot already, and there's more to come. The problem is if we stay and we don't even participate in level one, often the event that we're grumbling and complaining and blaming about poisons us for all the rest of our experience. So we want to get in that level one right. But level two, again, is going into an awareness of how good God really is, how good life really is. And sometimes it takes a wrestling of ourself and a wrestling of our thoughts and our thankfulness. And that wrestling becomes, I'm going to make a choice to be grateful instead of grumbling. I'm going to make a choice to be thankful instead of focus on some facts that are happening right now. And that's when gratitude becomes dynamic, becomes powerful. And I'm not in level three, but I'm going to be there in a minute. But level in Psalm 31 in verse 10 through 15, King David, poet, warrior, king, writes a level 2 to 3 transition. And I'm gonna tell you what 3 is. 3 is to be thankful for what you cannot even see. And 2 is to be thankful in what you don't have and you know you don't have. So here's a level 2 to 3 transition for King David. My life is consumed by anguish and my years by groaning. My strength fails because of my affliction, and my bones grow weak. Because of all my enemies, I'm the utter contempt of my neighbors, and an object of dread to my closest friends. Those who see me on the street flee from me. I am forgotten as though I were dead. I become like broken pottery, for I hear many whispering terror on every side. They conspire against me and plot to take my life. Now, I'm not finished with that, but I love that. There is nothing to be grateful in there for. And he has gone to the very bottom. He's sharing his emotions. He's sharing his fear. He's saying, I'm to be pitied. So what I'm not saying, gratitude never denies that life right now is bad. Gratitude never denies that right now I'm without electricity. Okay. What it does, it looks for something greater to be thankful for. And David, this is verse 13, and then the transition is into 14. For I hear many whispering, terror on every side. They conspire against me and plot to take my life. But I trust in you, Lord. I say you are my God. My times are in your hands. Deliver me from the hands of my enemies, for those who pursue me. See, in this song, we discover that embedded within gratitude levels 2 to 3 is the need on our part to be completely vulnerable and honest with God. Gratitude, thanksgiving never ignores what is going on, but it highlights what is really powerful, what is really truthful, what is really God talking to us about. David never says, "Thank you, God, that my life is in anguish. Thank you that I am weak. Thank you that I am and the contempt of my enemies." I'm going to try that again. Thank you that I am the contempt of my enemies. No, David states to God, not complaining to others, what he believes, what he feels, what he thinks is true, what is he experiencing now. And then David puts the butt in the right spot and David gets on to being grateful. And that is powerful. I trust you and you are my God are gratitude statements, but they're not that powerful. And I think until you line out how bad it really feels. But many of us line out how bad it really feels and never gets to the "I trust you, you are my God." And some of us skip the how bad it is and we just shout and scream, "I trust you, you are my God." There's a combination that has to be both. That has to be both. Now, I know there's been some correction in the church with this, and I'm so thankful for it. But we've taught for years teaching people to thank God for their disease, for their pain, for their trauma, for their death. That's ridiculous. We've taught that. It's ridiculous. It's harmful for people to continue um, to be taught that. It makes a statement. I am powerful when I am able to suffer well. Jesus suffered well, so we don't have to suffer well. We suffer well when we turn to Him and are grateful at the third level of thanksgiving. But we don't suffer well by teaching that God's put us in suffering. Now, lament is a great primer, is a great way to get started with gratitude. And that's what we just saw here in Psalm 31. We saw lament. It's a great way to get started. Start listing out what you don't like about life. Start listing out the aches in your body, your soul, or your bank account, or your relationships. But then you've got to make a choice to turn your heads to God and be thankful for the more, for what you have, for how He created you, for His plans for tomorrow for you, for who He is. So I went a little long on the second one. So I want to repeat what I just said a minute ago, that that embedded within gratitude is the need on our part to be completely vulnerable and honest with God. Gratitude, embedded within gratitude, dynamic gratitude, is the need on our part to be completely vulnerable and honest with God, and then move on to dynamic gratitude. Because gratitude, thanksgiving never ignores what is going on. All right, so level number one, be thankful for what you have. Bless your food, bless your car, bless your home. Thankful for what you have. It's easy to say, "God, thank you for this house." But when your house doesn't have electricity and your pipes are broken and your pool pipes are broken, your irrigation system is broken, all you can see is damage. It's hard to say, "God, thank you that I even have this house that can actually be damaged." I've got some more teaching on that that's pretty powerful that maybe I'll share at another time.